We hear about it all the time, right? The city of the future. This hyper efficient, super clean, totally safe place, all run by technology. It sounds amazing, but what's the hidden price for all that perfection? That's what we're digging into today. This incredible tension at the heart of the whole smart city idea. The promise of a perfect world versus the very real danger of total surveillance. I mean, this really gets to the core of it. What if your city could just solve traffic, get rid of waste, and even stop crime before it happens? And all it had to do was watch your every move. Think about it. A world with zero traffic jams, cleaner streets, emergency services showing up almost instantly. Sounds like a dream. But to make that dream a reality, the city has to collect a mind-boggling amount of data on everything. And that includes you. So here's the real question. Is that a trade-off you're willing to make? Okay, so first, let's talk about the dream. Let's look at the bright, shiny, optimistic side of this. This is the vision of what a perfectly functioning smart city could be. It's the sales pitch for our urban future, and honestly, it's a really compelling one. So what exactly is a smart city? Well, the basic definition is pretty simple. It's an urban area that uses all this digital tech, sensors, data to make things more efficient, more sustainable, and just better for everyone living there. But look, we're not just talking about having good Wi-Fi on every corner. This is much, much deeper. It's about weaving technology into the very fabric of the city itself. We're talking about everything from the power grid to the water pipes. So how does all this magic actually happen? Well, it's powered by a few key technologies that you've probably heard of. First, you've got these tiny Internet of Things or IoT sensors. They're embedded everywhere. I mean, in traffic lights that are literally talking to cars, in garbage bins that send out a signal when they're full. Then, all of that data gets crunched by powerful AI. And it's all zipped around instantly on super fast 5G networks. And yeah, a big part of this puzzle often includes biometric systems like facial recognition. And if they pull it off, the benefits they're promising are honestly transformative. Just imagine smart energy grids that completely eliminate waste, sensors that can detect a water leak the second it happens. Picture a city where traffic systems basically make rush hour disappear, where emergency services are automatically on their way the instant a crash is detected. It's this incredible vision of a city that runs like a perfectly oiled machine. Okay, but you knew there was a but coming, right? To get to that level of perfect efficiency, you have to pay a price. See, this perfectly optimized city doesn't just run on electricity. It runs on data. And that brings us to the, let's say, the darker side of the coin, the price of all this progress. And this is the question that really changes the whole conversation. All of this data, where does it actually go? We've got sensors collecting info on traffic, on waste, on energy, and on people, on you. So where is all of that personal, really sensitive information being stored? Who gets to see it? And maybe most importantly, what are they doing with it? And here's the thing you have to understand. The engine that makes a smart city smart in the first place is mass data collection, nonstop, all the time. Without that constant stream of information, the system can't learn, it can't predict, it can't optimize. And what that means is that the city is, by its very nature, a surveillance system. And the tools they're using to do this, honestly, it sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. We're talking about facial recognition cameras on basically every corner. We're talking about predictive policing algorithms that try to figure out where crime will happen before it does. Even social credit systems that literally give people a score based on their public behavior. And get this, the data isn't just coming from city sensors. A lot of it is being harvested right from our phones, often on infrastructure that's owned and operated by private companies. And just to give you a sense of the sheer scale we're talking about, think about this number. In China alone, there are an estimated 600 million surveillance cameras. That is an infrastructure of observation on a scale that humanity has literally never seen before. So, okay, this obviously creates some very real risks for regular citizens. For starters, you're being tracked, a lot of the time without you ever really consenting to it. And that can create what's called a chilling effect, where people get scared to protest or even just say what they really think online. Then there's the huge risk of your sensitive data being breached or hacked. And what about private companies ending up in control of public infrastructure? And the AI itself, it's not perfect. We know for a fact these algorithms can be biased, and that can lead to some really unfair discrimination. And look, this isn't just some abstract theoretical debate. This tension, this promise versus peril, it's playing out in real cities all over the world right now. So let's take a look at 3 case studies that show 3 very, very different futures that this technology could lead to. You can already see these different paths taking shape. Take Toronto. A Google sister company wanted to build this futuristic smart neighborhood, but it got canceled. Why? Because of a huge public backlash over who was going to own and control all that data. Then you have the model in many Chinese cities where this technology is just fully integrated for state control, through mass surveillance. But then there's a third way starting to emerge. Look at a city like Barcelona. They're trying to pioneer a model that's focused on the citizens. Data ownership and privacy come first, and the city basically acts as the guardian of that data for the public good. So, where does all this leave us? Well, It puts us at a really critical moment. We are standing at a digital crossroads, for real. And the choices we make right now about how we use this technology in our cities, they're going to define what it's like to live in a city for generations to come. And the truth is, there are so many huge, fundamental questions that we, as a society, just haven't figured out yet. Like, should you have the right to just opt out of data collection when you're walking down the street? Who actually owns all the data your city generates? Is it the tech company that built the sensors, the city government, or is it us, the people who live there? And when one of these AI systems screws up, who's accountable? When you strip it all the way, it really feels like it boils down to two very different paths. On one side, you've got the surveillance model. That's top-down control, data is a resource for corporations to profit from. On the other side, you have a more democratic model. This one is built on the idea of citizen consent. Data is treated like a public good, something we all own, and the systems are transparent and accountable to the people. But, maybe it's not a simple this or that choice. This quote here points to a possible third way. The idea of smart but democratic cities. Now, this kind of approach would put privacy first. It would only collect the data that's absolutely essential. That's a cool concept called data minimalism. And it would put the control of all these digital platforms back into the hands of the public. And that really leaves us with the final massive question. In this quest to build the perfect, most efficient city imaginable, do we have to give up our freedom to get there? Is the price of ultimate efficiency our liberty? Or is it possible to find a way to have both? That right there is the challenge that all of us are going to face as we start to build the cities of tomorrow.